So first, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Judy Nichols, and also with me is Jessica Gray, who is handling a lot of the background, setting up the recording, and she'll be monitoring the chat sessions today. Any questions that you have, you can put right into the conversation window. At Breakpoint Technology, we are a Gold Microsoft partner, and we focus very heavily on helping our customers find the right solutions for their problems. We do a lot of work in the Microsoft 365 space. We help our customers find business process and data management solutions, whether that's in a custom solution, workflow and forms automation. We do a lot of work with university medical centers around enterprise budgeting. We're often putting together portal solutions or working on collaboration strategies overall. We have many years of experience in the education space working with a variety of customers in this area. So we're excited to be here today. I'm going to turn it over to Andrew Kuhn so that he can introduce Advanced Business Solutions to you.
Hi, everyone. ABS. Advanced Business Solutions, we are a Louisville-based IT support firm. We offer managed services anywhere from managed services down to managing hardware and implementing projects. Different types of solutions, again, that we offer in 365 migrations. We are a Microsoft Gold partner. I mentioned managed services, help desk. We have about 115 people that work for ABS. The majority of those do sit on our help desk, which allows us to do some staff augment, and then also some network upgrades, remediation, and large-scale hardware recycle or refresher for upgrades. Great. That's today. So why Microsoft for education? Well, technology is changing the way we work, driving demand for employees who can thrive as creative, critical thinkers and digital collaborators. Tools that help employees connect instantly through chat and video and work together to solve problems are becoming more the norm in the offices around the world, and classrooms that mirror that modern workplace will be the most successful in preparing students for the future. Walk into any given classroom and you will find a wide range of students, some with gifts, others with learning challenges. And to bridge this gap between students and then empowering each student to learn in a way that works best for them, Microsoft is committed to giving schools exclusive collaborative technology that leverages the power of the cloud to streamline classroom operations and empowering students of all abilities to learn at their own pace. Tools like Microsoft Teams, which Breakpoint will be diving into more later, makes it easier for teachers to run an entirely digital classroom and save valuable time and money, encouraging students to learn from one another in a virtual discussion space with Skype for the classroom, and extending the boundaries of the classroom with Skype using video to bring in speakers from all over the world. So Microsoft for Education. In summary, it can help achieve better learning outcomes, save teachers time, leaving more time to engage with students and lower both the physical and management cost on devices, thus enabling schools to provide more students with access to technology. So we're going to try to dive into each area of the Microsoft Education platform, but just kind of want to touch on the 6 main benefits that we see as providers and Microsoft communicates out to its customers. One, as I mentioned earlier, there's numerous tools inside the Microsoft platform that improves learning outcomes. There are also tools like Intune and Azure for AD. Many tools like Intune and Azure AD that allow for seamless and smooth deploy and management of devices. Plus, you can maintain compatibility with your existing infrastructure. So there are ways to have hybrid solutions to make sure that your existing projectors, your existing wireless displays are compatible with the existing management infrastructure. Four, protect privacy, again with the additional threat protection through the monitoring of Intune. Drive collaboration and prepare students for the future, which Judy and her team will dive into those different collaboration tools, and then engage and inspire students with tools like Minecraft, which we'll dive into a little bit later as well. So learn success is the core of everything that you do in education. Technology alone will not lead to better learning outcomes, but how teachers and students choose to use technology can have a significant impact. Moving on to the next slide, there's a quote here. I'm dyslexic, and there's a lot of tools that I use in the Microsoft suite that has really transformed how I do business. And the same thing can happen in the education space. The quote here, sometimes students' performance doesn't match their ability. Learning tools evens the playing field for kids who are struggling reading. So the takeaway here, Microsoft provides the right set of tools with the right level of intervention to help all students succeed. Some of the tools that are used would be, moving on to the next slide, details a little bit more. The improved reading. The Learning Tools has an immersive reading feature that can help improve people's reading skills, including people with dyslexia, like myself, ADHD, emerging readers, or a combination of a broad range of unique students' abilities. The features are available in OneNote, on desktop, in Word, in OneNote Online, and Word Online. Myself use it more often in Outlook and Exchange to review emails. Have actually the Microsoft tool read aloud emails to me to help me edit it before they send out. And all these tools are available and could be available to teachers and students alike. There's another quote that I found that I thought was very eye-opening. So when playing Minecraft, students must have a level of coordination and cooperation in order to accomplish shared objectives. They're negotiating with one another, strategizing about resources and next moves, and delegating responsibilities. It's really quite remarkable. That's from Robbie at the Institution for Education. So when you think of Minecraft, we already think of Minecraft the game. Microsoft has totally morphed what Minecraft is and how Minecraft is used in the education space. Not only is it used to the teachers are actually using this to help explore science experiments, to build lessons through Minecraft to help individual students learn in a different way, not just your traditional way, but in a different way that enables the kids to be creative and bring their own flair, needless to say, to the classroom. All right, I want to move on to affordability and easy to manage technology. Every student, teacher, and school should have the access to the best technology. We can level the playing field to ensure students have the right tools they need to be successful. That starts with efficient, affordable devices that reduce administrative burden on teachers and IT departments and allow them to coordinate on what matters most, their students. So the first piece to that is with the Microsoft Education Suite, there's two different options of Windows 10. You got Windows 10 Pro and S mode. So S mode stands for security mode. And Windows 10 S mode for education has been designed for schools in mind. S mode is a feature within Windows 10 Pro that offers the same features with added security, faster performance, and flexibility. It enhances security mode, streamlined for security and superior performance. With Windows 10 Pro and S mode for education, students can only download and install Microsoft verified apps from the Microsoft Store. This helps keep devices running fast and secure day in and day out. So it doesn't allow students to go out and download any application that they want. They can only install approved applications, but applications that have been verified by Microsoft themselves as a secure application. Next, how can you determine which Windows mode is right for you? It all depends on what applications that you use, what applications you plan on using, how you plan on managing Active Directory. Is there some legacy apps that you have in your environment that might sway you one way or another? These are all things that we can help consult with and help you steer you in the right direction, which one is the best option for you and your school and your district. This next slide details out Intune for education. This is probably the most intuitive solution when it comes to the management side of O365 that a lot of you guys are probably the most interested in. So the improved Intune for Education is a cloud-based service that delivers easy setup and control of Windows 10 applications and devices in the classroom. At its core of a modern platform to create the conditions for a learning in the classroom. So what does Intune allow you to do? One, allows for easy deployment. So with any new Windows 10 device, it's easier than ever to set up a new PC, including very light touch device configuration using a USB key. Simple enrollment. You can bring devices under management simply by joining them to Azure Active Directory, either through the setup of school PC apps or, like I said earlier, using a USB stick. Zero touch management is another huge piece to this. And be able to manage all your devices, manage all the applications that you have on those devices, troubleshoot devices, all from one centralized platform, centralized page. Now, for us on a managed services side, we're always looking for the most efficient way to support our clients. I'm sure as a lot of you guys are looking for the easiest way or most efficient way to support your end users. And Intune allows you to have that zero-touch management to do as much as you can remotely without having to go out and touch each individual device. And again, these are all things that we can run through with you if you're interested, and have some demos or show you guys or consult with you guys on the best way to scale this. I also wanted to show you really quickly portable devices. This is a recap of just different types of devices that are out in the market. You think about price points of different devices to bring into your environment. You have anywhere from the ultra low cost Lenovo all the way up to the Microsoft Pro that starts at around 800. So it really depends on the level of experience, level of compatibility you want in your environment. There's just some options here to potentially to evaluate.
Do is talk to you a little bit about how do you transform the classroom time, and because I think that's what it all boils down to. It's great to have a lot of the infrastructure pieces and the security and all of that, and that's definitely important. But at the end of the day, it becomes, what do we do about the kids and the students? And how do we make the teachers' lives a little easier? How do we manage all of this so that the teachers can get to what they really want to do, which is teach? And how do we make their job run more smoothly and work better for them? So I'm going to take over the share here. So bear with me for just a moment while I share, if you don't mind. And we'll see here. Hopefully it's going to come through in just a second for everybody. There we go. So what I'm showing you here is a Teams application that's in progress. And I'm going to do a little bit of a demo for you. And Microsoft Teams brings conversations, content, and apps all together in one place. Because it's built on Office 365 for education, schools benefit from the integration with their familiar Office apps and their services, and it delivers the enterprise-level security and compliance you expect from Office 365. It's completely customizable to fit the needs of every school and classroom. So educators can create collaborative classrooms, connect in professional learning communities, or PLCs, and communicate with school staff, all from a single experience in Office 365 for education. So if you're seeing what I've got on the screen right now, this would be where you could start to set up a team site, and you can see they've got the basic sites already there ready for you that you can set up and choose from, whether it's a classroom, a PLC for staff members, or just a basic site that anybody could use. I'm going to cancel out of this because there's already some sites there. And I want to go into what I created yesterday was an AP team for PLC, and go into this one. So you can start to see some of the basics that are put out there. This Plc Notebook is the OneNote that's created when you have a PLC type site. Excuse me. And you'll see that it drops in already set up to have everything else in the learning community OneNote. If you haven't used file it all in one tool that's all put together for you. Your notebooks put together has all the features of everything you'd want in Word, some features of Excel, everything all put together in one amazing tool that everybody can communicate and collaborate on. So all of this, I have added nothing to this at all. This is exactly how it drops in from the beginning for you. You can see that it's got this immediate template that tells you, here's your professional learning communities template that you can use, and this is a great way to start working together to foster collaboration learning together. And it's got a process put together for you about plan, do, check, and act. It's got information that helps drive each of these processes. It has links that'll take you out to more information that'll help you drive even more effective use of this whole tool and your learning community. If we look even more, different sections, and within those sections, different pages already set up. You can add additional sections, you can add additional pages. If we look in some of these different ones, there's more information here. What are norms? Why do we need them? What are the elements we want to address? What are some examples? Again, a wealth of information out here. Here's what the roles might look like for your PLC and examples of them. All of this information is here. Now, if you don't like this information, it's editable. You can completely go in here and change it. You can make whatever you need for your group. Here's information goals already, but you can again edit it for what you need. They give you kind of a template to lay it out for what your group, your community is going to be using, and it gets you started. If you move into it, here's kind of what our norms are going to look like, all the way laid through. Here's our roles, list that we can start to go with. When you get into the data, this is the really nice thing. It shows you exactly how to insert a spreadsheet into this OneNote. They've got an example one here. It tells you how to add pictures, how to the spreadsheet, how to use all of this information, which is great because most of us don't start out as experts on the tools that we use to help us and to figure out things. The same is true for every single section in here. Here's how to manage meetings. Pull all your Outlook meeting details right into the OneNote page, and it walks you through it step. Here's how to get everything in here, how to send email messages back after the meeting, how to send notes out even to those that didn't have OneNote, so they may not be able to see the information later. Everything. Here's checks. All your students' work, right? As a community, you're held accountable for what's going on with your students. So you've got to be able to check their progress. You need to reflect, you need to record. Here's a sample template on how you can do this. They talk about how to put together evidence of the learning and gives you some good ideas about how to get screen clippings or use the Office Lens, how to insert audio and video. All of these pieces are really helpful. And it goes on and on from there. And then this last section is full of resources. A ton of resources that you can use, whether it's more information about how to stay on track, other places you can go, example lesson plans, other ways to use OneNote notebooks, all kinds of information out here that you can use, filled with resources for you to use as a professional learning community. And that's the beauty of this tool. Again, I put no effort into this other than to just say, create. Here it all is for me, ready to go. So now you can just start using it, building it out for what you need as a team. If we look across the top of this, we've got conversations, we've got files, and we've got the notebook, and then we've got this plus sign. This is where I just tab. So maybe there's a Word doc that we're working on as a group that we're going to be working on continuously and often enough that I want to make it prominent up at a tab at the top. So I could do that here. I could click on Word, pull it up, and make that specific document at the top. Or it could be an Excel document, it could be a PDF, it could be anything. Maybe there's another OneNote notebook that we want to keep up there. Maybe we're going to create something in Power BI, and it's going to be a report that we're going to be tracking and using. You have a variety of applications and tools available. Poly's a fun one. That's where you can keep track of different things. There's all kinds of applications out here as a group with. I'm going to go up here that's been created, and we're going to take a look at some of the conversations that they've had going. I get into the right one. So you can see here conversations, they're using this as a way for their group to communicate with each other. It's very similar to what you see on a lot of social media tools. So it looks familiar, it's easy to use. This case, they're looking for chaperones for a dance. I'm sure that never happens in a school. And you can see they're able to tag individuals if they want to make sure that they're reaching out and seeing this information. They're responding back and forth, communicating. They pulled in a file, so something that's listed over here in the files. They pulled in that specific file and referenced it so people knew what they were looking at, communicated back and forth. When you're putting information in here, if you're going to reply, you have the option of notifying somebody by a specific name, so tagging them just by using the @ symbol, attaching a file, putting in an emoji, just like you're used to in, again, social media of any type, using a GIF, putting a sticker on. You can meet now with this group of people that are in this whole conversation, and a lot of other things. So it's very, very similar to other social media. It's intuitive, it's easy. People get used to it very quickly. You can like comments that are on here. You can do all kinds of things. So here's another example of one. They had a question about using Microsoft, and different people in the community responded, shared information that they had. She got a response to what she was looking for. It's a great way to communicate, collaborate. All the information is here, it stays here, versus emailing back and forth. If you think about the chaperone list, if this had been sent out in an email, somebody would have added their name onto the file. It would have been added one name here on this email, somebody else would have added their name on another email, and then pretty soon the list is out of sync. Nobody knows where the real list belongs. Everybody's responding to different versions of the email, and nobody knows what's really going on. Here, it's all contained in one section. Everybody knows what's happening. They're communicating with each other. They can see what's going on. It's easy to keep track of. It's a great each other. So next, I want us to think about, that's great, the learning community is talking to each other at the high level, but what do we want to do about classrooms? So one of the great ways that Microsoft has is we talk about the classrooms and looking at what goes on in the classroom itself. So sometimes what you start to think about then is, so you mean I have to set up a team for every single class that I have? That sounds like a whole lot of work. I have to set up a team. I have to then pull in the roster and set up every single student that I have. It's going to be crazy. However, Microsoft has a wonderful tool called Microsoft School Data Sync. And this is a tool that's out here. We'll be glad to provide this link for you. We can connect you with the team later. Provided by Microsoft. They have a whole team that works with someone from your organization to make sure that your SIS system is set up, and it will automatically take the roster and create classes and groups for Microsoft Teams, Intune for Education, and other third-party applications so that every class is set up automatically. It's a fabulous tool. It's completely free. They work seamlessly with you, saves a ton of time, and makes everything work very smoothly. So if we go in here and we take a look at the physical science 4th period class, you can see that they're starting to have some conversations back and forth. The teacher, whose name is Kara, has been putting up information. And this is a place that, again, they have the same tabs across the top, but the teacher can start to customize them for the way that she wants them. So if she puts the assignment out here and posts it, the students can start to interact. They can ask questions. They can share information back and forth. They may be able to help each other with things. They might be able to say, hey, I found a great resource here at this location and post something about it. They can keep in touch with each other. You can see down here the teacher has said, you know, hey class, this is due tomorrow. I'm not seeing much activity yet. How are you progressing? And give information. They can collaborate and communicate on this from anywhere. They don't have to be just sitting in the classroom to work on this and give information. So this board is a great way that they can start to communicate. Now in my particular demo, I don't have a lot of different people that I'm logged in on, so you're not seeing much communication back and forth. But in a typical classroom experience, you would hopefully see a lot of back and forth between the teacher and the students, and everybody would be working together. I'm going to go into assignments, and that's what you've got to keep track of the work and who's turning things in. You're going to put assignments out there, you're needing to manage that. So we've got, this class is studying on weather right now, and you can see there's a few different assignments out here. To add an assignment, I'm going to simply create it, put in new assignment. I'm going to put a title on here. We're going to make this weather assignment number 5, because I'm not feeling overly creative today. And we're going to just say, watch Al Roker and get the latest update on the storm coming in. Where does he get his information? Write a paragraph that provides the details. Clearly, I am not a teacher because this is probably not the assignment you guys would give. We're going to add a resource down here. You can put different information in here. You might link them to the class notebook, which is the Onenote, and you could link it to a specific section. You can provide a link. You could provide another file. Maybe there's a worksheet that's in this, that it's going to be referencing. You could upload a file, whatever it may be. In this case, I'm going to put www.today.msnbc, I think is the .com, and I'm going to just put the Today Show. I don't know what it is, but that's close enough. There we go. We're going to make this due next Wednesday. Whoops, put the right date in. And I like to make things due first thing in the morning so they can't come in and try to get it done during lunch or anything. We're going to say that this is worth 25 points. It's not a very hard assignment. You could add a rubric if you wanted to, and I don't really like to allow late turn-ins. I think they need to turn it in on time. You have all kinds of options in here. If you wanted to work on it a little bit, you could just save it and maybe make it a draft instead of making it a full assignment. But now that it's ready, I'm going to just go ahead and assign it. You also have the option to add additional resources if you want to. So there it is. It's out there. You can see there was an earlier one that I started and didn't finish. If I wanted to check on one of these to see how they're doing, you can see nothing's been turned in on any of these. But if I wanted to look at it, I can review it. And here I've got a whole list of students that I can see, all the students in the class. Nobody's turned anything in. Got a problem in this class, obviously. But if we look, if somebody had turned something in, you'd be able to click on their name and see their actual work. You could enter feedback right here and the number of points that they have. I can also go through and I could speed grade all of these and put their points in for everything. And I could put in feedback right from here. I could click this. It would give me the chance to enter feedback. So, you know, if they were giving presentations in front of the class, you could give feedback and grade as they're going through the presentations. It'd be an easy way to keep it in. So this is a great way to kind of think about a way to keep up with the grades and how everything's moving along. I want to go back a little bit more. I'm going to go back into here to show you briefly what the class notebook looks like. This is the templated student section than it is for the teacher, for that PLC class. OneNote is very, it comes across, it has the student notebooks, which is really interesting. So every student has their own private space that they work in, and the teacher can see each one of them, but nobody else can see it. So it gives you a way to work individually with every student and to see what they're working on, which is fabulous because we all need that, right? You need to be able to work individually with the students and allow them to have their private workspace, but you also need a way that you can see it and what's going on. Then there's a content library. So the teacher has a place that they can post handouts and post information that gets shared across to all the students without having to go in and post it individually to every notebook. and a collaboration space. So this is a place where everybody collaborates together. So all the students can post things, the teacher can post things, everybody works together in the OneNote.
Can I add something there really quickly?
I know with a lot of students, especially myself, I much rather handwrite on OneNote versus type.
Yeah, so in OneNote, it takes that. You can handwrite it, and then it will translate it into typing for you. It'll also take, when you draw, and we don't really have time today to do a full example of OneNote, but you can draw and it will straighten out lines for you. It'll convert drawings into more digitized formats, or it'll keep the original if you want it to keep the original. We could do a whole webinar just on OneNote. It's such an amazing tool. But you can see here, I could get into each student's individual OneNote, or I can go into the content library or the collaboration space. So it's pretty amazing the way this goes. And again, this is exactly the way it comes across. I have done no altering to this other than just let it set up the template out of the box. So it's a pretty amazing tool. And it has all this to help you get started. And there's a lot more information available and training that you can get on this. So I just want to point out one other thing. You'll notice right here, I've got this little red 1. This tells me that something in the general section. So I'm going to go back out here. My conversation. You can see, and that's the alert that everybody would have gotten. There's a new assignment. So everybody can see there's a new assignment due April 17th. If they click here, it takes them right, the one I created a few minutes ago. They can see here's the assignment. They know when it's due, no late turn-in allowed. It's worth 25 points. This is what they need to do. Here's the reference material. If I click on that, it'll take me right to it. And there's no student work yet. So I can see that as the teacher, the individual student would be able to click right into their work. I don't think you can make it much easier for the students to find their assignments. So with all of this, I think you can see how easy it is to work within teams. If I'm the teacher and these are all of the classes that I manage, I can click from class to class to class throughout the day and see what's going on, what's happening. I get alerted when there's something new. So if students have posted something, I'm going to get an alert like that one I just saw. If one of my staff members that I collaborate with has posted something or tagged me in something, I'm going to get the same alert. If there's just a change and it's not necessarily alert for me, these will turn bold and I'll know that there's something that's changed. It gives me basically a desktop right here that I'm working within, and I can move from place to place and manage my day in an effective way. So I hope that you can see the benefits here of what this brings to it and the way that it's designed to help me organize my day, work more collaboratively with my students, but not bog me down in a way that means that I have so much additional overhead. I can take all the things that I normally work with and pull them in here. Some of the things that we aren't showing on here right now, again, is if I'm using similar materials from semester to semester or year over year, I can pull files and copy them over, easily move them from one team site to another so that I don't have to recreate everything every time. And all of that will save a lot of time. So I hope that you will be interested enough to think about looking at this a little further. And I'm going to stop sharing right now, and we'll let Andrew move us over to our other slides. If I can find my stop sharing button so that we can move on with a little more information for you. Do you need to move us back to our slide deck? We've put together, as we've talked with the Microsoft Education team, what we've been hearing from them and what we've been hearing from a lot of the schools is that it's hard for them to think about how to get started with all of this, and it's a little overwhelming. And so working with the Microsoft team, what we've come up with is a way to kind of jumpstart you and help you get moving faster with Office 365. And so ABS and Breakpoint together have put this whole package together to help you get going. And some of the pieces that we're going to include in this would be customer immersion experience, which is similar to what I just went through. But what we do is we come and we set up a whole lab experience for you. And the whole demo site is set up so that we'll come in and set it up so that you can get your hands on the whole experience. You can try everything out. There's nothing that you can hurt because it's not your tenant. And it's all set up, and you can try building out the classrooms and try setting up assignments and adding all of the things that I just showed you and even more, playing around in the Onenote notebooks and doing everything. And we walk you through it and let you try a whole bunch of different things. And you get a chance to see what it's really like to use everything and try everything and experience all of it. And it's a great way to really get a feel for how all of this works. So that's one of the pieces that we do. We also try to help you think through collaboration as a strategy. And what does that mean? So where are you going to put different files? And how are you going to work together as a group? What are the people that are going to be involved maybe not who's going to be involved in the learning communities, but when do you want to set up a team site for certain learning communities, and who do you want where on what type of team sites, and when do you want to put things into SharePoint, and when should you use OneDrive, and how do all these things work together? So all of that's included. Andrew, do you want to explain about some of the pieces that you guys are covering?
Yeah, and it's why it's so great for us to partner with Breakpoint Technologies when offering this. They have their piece that they excel at and do really well and have experience in, and ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, has our area. Our area expertise are centered around Exchange, are centered around security, and centered around standing up the platform for our clients to use. So as part of this jumpstart, that's what we're going to help you guys do, is one, stand up the M365 or O365 platform to at least get you started as an administrator. Get your tenant set up, get your different platforms set up, and then the next piece of that, help you, one, evaluate where you guys are, at least on the email side of things, and then discuss and collaborate with you on what it would take to migrate from your current platform to the O365 platform. There could be, depending on what platform you're currently on, there's a lot of nuances, a lot of gotchas that we have to make sure that we consult with you guys on the best course of action moving forward. And then the next step of that would be actually running down the different features, especially the security features and Intune features of O3 or Microsoft Education 365 to make sure that you guys have a full understanding of the capabilities. And then from there, after this bundle is complete, if you're wanting additional help outside of that, we can we'll have a better idea of the effort it would take to help move you guys in a certain direction or move you guys to O365. Another piece to this that are not on the call today, we do have a relationship with the Microsoft Store. So they could bring in potential devices to use, to test out. And then if you do purchase devices from them, they offer free training on those devices to end users. So it's something we can help explore and see if that is what you guys are looking for. So I think at this point, we're going to open up to questions. If anyone has any additional questions, do have our sales engineer in the room that can answer a little bit more technical questions if anyone does have any that might come up. So
feel free to type your questions into the conversation area if you'd like to. If there are any. We're also going to post a link in for a survey that we'd appreciate if you fill this out, that will give us some information about your thoughts on the webinar and any other topics that you'd be interested in.
And we'll be sharing out this PowerPoint to everyone that's attended. And if you don't have any questions at the time being, we will have our emails and contact information when we share this information out to everyone. Please feel free to reach out or schedule a time outside of this webinar to ask additional questions. We'd love to help out in any way that we can. And this sometimes can be a big undertaking to bring on, and we're here to help and help guide you on the path to getting to O365.
Yeah, we'll stay here on the line for a few minutes in case there are any questions that anybody has.